The people to utilize a trust are local governments, small boroughs, municipalities. Private entities aren't really allowed to utilize it unless it's through some kind of conduit lending process that's pretty complicated. I don't know that much about that because I never utilized it and don't have experience in it. On the drinking water side, we have utilized a trust for like Geisinger Avenue, well 18. That was a trust project that I worked on. It was a great project. We have great water out there. We renovated our tank. We built a new treatment facility, a new well. There's an on-site sodium hypochlorite generation out there now. We have air scrubbers to remove VOCs, and that was a trust project. Now in the future, we're planning a new well and treatment out by Bridgeton Pike possibly, and that'll be going through the infrastructure trust. Now we're trying to be smart about our water, and if we have development on the west side, we've been speaking about if there's a large development coming in, make that developer make improvements to our system. As part of that approval, if they come in with a large 1,500 home development, let them contribute to the city by doing that kind of stuff. The next slide is about the ranking system for projects. Every system ranks differently. Clean water, drinking water ranked the highest. For instance, our third clarifier project ranks a lot higher than our solids dewatering project. The new clarifier is at 119. The old solids dewatering is at 570. So there's a big difference in the ranking. That means it's a more desirable project to the trust, and I don't know that it opens up more funding, but we definitely have a chance for better rates, things like that. So the ranking is, there's a bunch of different items they go through on the ranking. Clean water is definitely one of them. On the drinking water side, there's also, rankings for lead service line replacements. That's a big thing in the state of New Jersey right now. We haven't utilized that because of the conditions of the grant require replacement from the corporation out in the street all the way into the house, including fixtures. So we haven't done that. We're stopping at the curb stop. I don't know that too many people that are going all the way into the people's houses because of the liabilities. I know up in North Jersey they're doing it, but I think they're doing it, in a different manner where they subcontract out, design, build. But we're talking, multiple $1 million projects. Here we're just doing like 30-some services a year. So we haven't utilized that, on the drinking water side. But we'll be utilizing it for our next well and treatment. This is a section about the affordability criteria that we talked about earlier. Our ranking was 66% of the median household income and the factors that are involved in that. There's also like EJ, environmental justice. The city of Millville is an environmental justice area, overburdened community, so we get points for that in our ranking. That helped us get down to 66%. So that's, it's a double-edged sword. It's both good and not so desirable to have that lower rating, but it is going to help us to get funding. I'm sorry, Marcy, if anytime you want to jump in. No. No. Okay. I just know from being around there reading, you're the expert, not me. Bipartisan infrastructure law, that's one of the funding sources from the government that contributes to the I-Bank. And allow for the principal forgiveness. Now the principal forgiveness, there is money, but there's not as much money as you would think there's available. It's like, I think on the clean water side, there's 34 million. So when you divide 2 into that, it doesn't go very far for the number of municipalities in the whole state. So the ranking is really important for getting the principal forgiveness. So not everybody's going to get 2 million. Some people might get $500,000. Some people might get 2. It depends on the ranking of the project. The next slide is the intended use plan. That's the like EPA compliance document that makes sure that NJDEP, the IBank, and everybody are complying with what they think the money should be used for and properly used for. The IBank and NJDEP construction element, they do an excellent job. They make sure that the projects are done and in compliance. So I never had an issue with any project in the IBank. They're always successful and on time, on budget. It's just a good way to run a project. So there's like third-party people watching the whole project. For the ERA project, we had special conditions for Buy America, Build America. We had third-party consultants actually come to the job, open up control panels, look at starters, make sure there are no starter components made outside of the United States of America. So they really get into the fine details to make sure you are, committed to the Buy America, Build America. So that's a good thing for our country and for the city. Here's a sheet that just tells some of the numbers available. $148 million for American Rescue Plan, and a lot of that money is for up in North Jersey. They have combined sewer outfalls. We have stormwater and wastewater combined together during storms going out, overflows. So there's a lot of money, as there should be, to try and eliminate those and reduce those down. Unfortunately, fortunately we don't have that, but we won't see that kind of funding down here. We don't have those kind of issues. We talked a little bit about the affordability criteria, the median household income numbers. The next sheet is all the possible lending packages and programs. It's like going to a bank. They have car loans, home improvement loans, but this is for large, heavy construction projects. So they have all kinds of programs with principal forgiveness, amounts of forgiveness, the combination of rates between the IBank and DEP share, where they blend the rates to get you to the below market rate value for a base loan if you didn't have any forgiveness. Our criteria is the affordability criteria. If you read down there, it's 100% principal forgiveness, up to $2 million if your project ranks properly at the trust. This is the drinking water side of that packages. It's similar stuff, but you can see lead service lines ranked pretty high on there, and we're not pursuing that at this point in time. And we're open to discussion, I guess, if we ever decide to take that route, but we haven't done that yet. Drinking water, our next thing will be the well and treatment, like we had discussed earlier. And we're thinking now, Bridgeton Pike or behind the Lowe's, the water tower there would be a good site for a future well. So we're working with a consultant to get moving on that. The next sheet is just the milestones for the approval process. The steps you have to take. You don't have to take all the steps in order. Our project was already designed, so we're well ahead. It was designed before. We just had to review the design, make sure it met current standards. We've done all that. We're above 90% complete on that part. We have our ranking and our determination. That's done. Right now we're working on our letter of intent. That's about 90% complete. We're coordinating with the trusts, on a weekly, if not daily basis. We're on the phone with them today. So we're moving ahead. We're moving forward. We're doing everything we can to get our project, approved. And we can't go to bidding or advertisement until we have concurrence from the state, because we don't want to risk, not having, it's not allowed. They won't allow you to go to bidding and get, funding unless you have their concurrence. And Michelle has some good news, right, from our conversation with Payush, a friend of ours at the Trust. Right, Michelle?
Yeah.
So if you want to share that with everybody.
Sure. It was
And Paiute should let us know that, so. But that's all I had. There's some other stuff, but it's all SED compliance, socially economic disadvantaged business utilization. We have a 10% requirement, and I don't want to take up too much time, but that's part of the work also.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you.
Michelle. Very informative. Marcy, did you have anything to add, or did you kind of cover everything?
No, Wayne's very knowledgeable about the projects, and once he does the application and the state approves, that's when I step in as far as doing the ordinance to go out for the funding, and bond council has to get involved. But right now, it's all in Wayne's ball court. As soon as he's done, then I can step in.
All right, thank you. Are you done reading this, by the way?
Do you want to take it home?
No, but if anybody wants to open it, just take this copy, please, and save us from making another 3,600-page document. Thank you again. I think that was pretty informative. And I don't, you know, and again, I want to thank Commissioner Watson for kind of like starting this conversation in the public so that we could all get a better understanding of what's going on with this. And that's all I have for now. Thank you.
I don't have anything as of right now. I just want to say thank you again. It's impressive. You are so informative of everything.
Just for being old, Mayor, I've been around.
It's always the same thing I say about solicitor. How do you keep all of that? How do you remember all of it? But I guess with the experience, so I appreciate it. I'm sure the public does as well. So thank you. Doesn't look like we have any new business this evening for our work session, so we'll just go to public comment. If anybody would like to address the commission, please come to the podium, state your name, your comments, and please limit those comments to 5 minutes. Michelle gives thumbs up. I see nobody for public comment. We'll close public comment and just go to closing comments of commissioners. Commissioner Almanick.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Commissioner Watson.
Yeah, I just want to thank the engineering department for coming down. It was really informative, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you for your questions, too. You know, it's always important to, have some criticization in every department and, makes us on our toes. And not that you're being critical, but it's important to ask questions. We appreciate that.
Nothing else from me?
Just again, thanks, Wayne. I was pretty used to these years ago with the prior commission. It's informative for everybody. Thank you.
Right, we have no resolutions for this evening's work session. Just need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. See everybody at 7.